Today's top stories at NBR. Regulatory anxiety continues for E-Road Cortex shareholders. Fonterra raises its milk price forecast. The Reserve Bank's first report on climate change. And there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, a wrap of the day's top business stories from the authority in New Zealand business news since 1970, nbr.co.nz. It's Tuesday, October 26th. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks again for joining us. A grocery industry ombudsman similar to that implemented in the United Kingdom is the preferred dispute resolution model for submitters to the Commerce Commission's Grocery Market Study Conference this morning, Tuesday. The Commission published a draft report in July this year, which found that competition in the sector is not working well for consumers and is continuing to consult on the issue before submitting a final report to the government next March. A constant theme of the ongoing debate has been grocery suppliers' concerns that they will face repercussions, for instance, their products falling out of favour with supermarket purchasers, if they speak out publicly about unbecoming conduct on the part of the retailers, said Nick Holdenjerk of retail consultancy Hexus Quadrant. Regulatory anxiety is continuing for shareholders of tech companies E-Road and Cortex as the Commerce Commission identifies competition concerns with their planned merger. The companies, which provide a range of technology for managing vehicle fleets, announced the deal in July, and competition clearance is the last major hurdle to its completion. Late on Friday, the regulator published a statement of issues, saying it was not satisfied that the proposed acquisition would be unlikely to result in a substantial lessening of competition in the supply of telematic solutions, which include eRUC, electronic road user charge systems. The Commerce Commission has called for further submissions and extended its time frame for a decision to November 23rd. Cortex Managing Director Selwyn Pellet said he had been reading through the documentation this morning, Tuesday. Fonterra has raised its milk price forecast for the 2021-22 season to a midpoint of $8.40 a kilo of milk solids, equal to its previous highest payout in 2014. In a statement to the NZX, Fonterra said its updated forecast price range was $7.90 to $8.90, up from $7.25 to $8.75 a kilo. Fonterra Chief Executive Miles Hurrell said the lift in the forecast price range was a result of continued demand for New Zealand dairy relative to supply and would push almost $13 billion into the New Zealand economy. State-owned enterprise Landcorp Farming, which trades as Pamu, has agreed to turn $85 million of roughly $220 million of bank debt into a loan that will cost them more in interest if they don't meet ambitious sustainability targets. The sustainability-linked loan, which will see Pamu spend 3 years getting its portfolio of 114 farms producing milk, beef, lamb, venison and other natural products on the same page on a range of measures, including an emissions reduction target. Though sustainability-linked loans are increasingly common, Westpac and Pamu say their loan, which has myriad targets attached that have been developed by both parties, is the largest in the agricultural sector and the first involving a state-owned enterprise. The Reserve Bank has released its first report on climate change, saying the need for action is urgent. It has titled the report Climate Changed 2021 and Beyond, because it said the climate had already changed, with the climate already having warmed by 1 degree C. The bank warned unless there are immediate, rapid and large-scale reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, limiting warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius or even 2 degrees will be out of reach. Global warming could exceed 4 degrees centigrade by the end of the century in a high-emission scenario, and we are currently on the track for around 3 degrees C warning, it said. In an accompanying statement, Reserve Bank Governor Adrian Orr said the financial risks associated with climate change were significant and required an urgent and collaborative response. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Tomorrow at NBR, trustee company Trustees Executors has big plans for growth over the next few years, and a renewable energy startup raises more than $1 million. I'm Paul Brennan. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow from around lunchtime for the morning's NBR trending stories. Then same time, same place, right here from 5:30 again tomorrow for another NBR Today.